Now we're going towards the Welaka State Forest. This is, what road is this?
309.
We're on 309. We're hoping to see the fish hatchery. You can see the sky is not that great, but we'll see. Hopefully we'll get some good pictures of the fish hatchery and some other places before it comes down. We're at the Welaka National Fish Hatchery Aquarium. Now we're going to go inside and see what we can find.
Back to the fish hatchery.
Well,
QR code.
everything has a QR code, and we're not going to be doing QR codes here, but...
Sort of.
Okay, an indigo snake, and I believe all of this stuff in the hatchery is native to Florida. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, these are all native. I mean, these are all native to Florida. These tilapia. Oh, yeah. Not live. What again? He's kind of hiding out there in the corner. You can see him with his in there. Now we got some gar. I'm trying to get the turtle. It's hard to see him. There we go. Because there's a glare. Oh, he's a big one. Is that another tilapia?
I think so.
Some turtles up top there. If you can see him, I'm not sure, but yeah, there he is. There used to be a little alligator in here, but... Oh, okay. Well, he's too big now. No, I guess he is still with them, but... You can see him, he's... There he is, he's moving around down there. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, a lot of tilapia. Here we have a sunfish. And some bluegill. Well, it's good to see it's open again. I would always recommend checking their website though for the hours or calling up or something. Now, these are pretty good size. Some bass, but I mean they're pretty good size, aren't they? I just want to mention that it's a nice, there's a lot of things in there to see, a lot of not animals, fish, a lot of fish in there. But what I want to add as a tip, if you're visiting, there is a public bathroom, but a lot of times the soap dispenser is empty. So you want to, have some disinfectant or some kind of soap with you if you go in there and use the bathroom. We're on the way to Fort Gates Ferry.
I thought the road used to be dirt. Isn't it?
Now, I don't know if that's an eagle or
An osprey.
Well, we were coming to the Fort Gates Ferry, but we were here several years back, and this is not like it was then. The building is still here where you would pay to go on, but we used to drive right here, and this is all grown over, and the ferry's temporarily closed. So we don't really know what's going on, if you can take it or not. It used to take us into, what, Ocala, right?
Ocala National Forest.
Ocala National Forest. And you used to be able to go one way or both ways, but now, temporarily closed. I don't know why. It was also a place that rented cabins. It looks like it has not been kept up since we've been here. They seem to have trailers in here now. RVs.
I think there's a little dock on the other side over there.
Yeah, there might be a little dock. We're going to take a walk and see.
I don't know if hurricanes messed up something here and they haven't been able to repair it.
Maybe. I don't know. Okay, there's a dock there, but we really don't know what's going on, and we don't see anybody in charge right now to ask about it.
There's two more bird nests over the telephone towers.
Yeah, there's bird nests. Well, the birds are still enjoying it.
The boat in the distance. Little red boat.
Yeah, I don't... Well, I don't know if it can be found on the internet or not. But anyway, this was a nice shortcut to take you over to in the Ocala Forest. You could end up in Ocala. Is that an alligator there? Or is that just something in the water?
That's an alligator.
That's an alligator.
That's a big alligator. And the bird just flew over its head.
The bird just flew over its head. I don't know if you can see it. You can barely make it out. I'm going to try to go a little closer.
Is there a wall or like a ramp up to come up?
No.
I think if you really wanted to, it could right there.
You can just see. You can just see a spot there by the dock. That is the alligator's head. I'm not going to go any closer. I don't think it can come up. Well, it probably can right there.
There's an old boat ramp there.
There's an old boat ramp, so we're not going to get any closer. But anyway, well, that's something new we've seen today. Of course, in Florida, you never know where an alligator is when you're near the water. Let's make that clear also. So we followed that sign. We looked it up on Google to go to this Mount Royal Air Park to see the Indian mounds. Well, it seems we can't get in. There's all these things about this gatekeeper and you got to hit these codes and stuff, but there's nobody here. So it seems like it would be a nice thing to see, but you cannot see it. And they give you all kinds of warning. There's a private community, and if you enter, like you cannot enter without being allowed in, without being told to enter.
You're not allowed to enter to just see the mound.
You can't just enter to see the mound without checking in.
You gotta put an address of who you're visiting.
Yeah.
And the mound isn't one of them.
Yeah, so I don't know. John Landing Trail and Forest Education Trail. And supposedly you need an app to visit it, I guess, or you scan that.
Scan the QR code to visit Florida State Forest Reserve America.
Well, we don't do none of that. We don't use apps for that kind of stuff. Well, this was the bird viewing area. Of course, the rain is coming down. But for some reason, it looks like there had been a fire here at one time, and right now you cannot hike the trails back there. And I could also hear thunder in the background, so we're not going to stay up at this watchtower very long. Hopefully we can come back another time, another road trip, and there'll be more birds and stuff when they're all filled in.
Yeah, the birds are
They have to all be filled up.
birds by the sign back there.
There's some birds back there by the sign. I don't know if you can see them.
That's also a fish hatchery.
That's also part of the fish hatchery, you're right. Here's a couple little decorations a person put. They're pretty cute. Well, we wanted to spend more time here. And even though the water isn't there, they're not filled up. There would have been a lot of birds, but with the thunder coming overhead, we don't really want to stay up on this tower. You can look, you can see a couple birds back there, but they are there. You can see some of them flying if you look hard. I guess you can see them maybe. We can see them with the naked eye.
Bird wrap something.
Yeah, they are there. There's a little bit of blue, so hopefully it'll clear up. We're trying to show you as much as we could with the limited way that we can today with this weather. It seems like there was an old mill or something here at one time. Water. What was that, a water building? Yeah. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to that today, though. We'll see. It looks like they kind of cleared out around it from the last time we were here. But as you can see, there's a couple little... Are they egrets, ibis? Any idea? It's able to pull it in just a little bit. All right, we're going to try to get to the water tower, the water pump, water shed, whatever you want to call it. We're going to see if we can get there today. So now we made it to that's the little building. And this was at one time the fish hatchery. As you can tell, there was the pumping station. Hoping you can read it. I know it's kind of in the darkness here. Here's a little bridge. Doesn't go too far, but it's a nice little walk up there. Of course, also bear in mind, loads of mosquitoes and other insects. Just love Florida. I'm being bit as I talk and as I'm filming this. Well, he's dead now. Here's some wild grapes. I believe there's a lot of blackberries here too. But now bear in mind, I'm not suggesting you go for a stroll and pick the berries and stuff and eat them. You got to know what you're eating and if you're allowed to pick them at the place you're at. But there's just so many wild grapes here. Muscadine they are. Here's some more of the plants here in Florida, the wild plants. See how they vine up there? There's a lot of stuff, but remember, the mosquitoes and everything use insect repellent. We are getting bitten alive here. Welaka boat ramp. They have life rafts to borrow in return. So this is part of the St. John's. I guess they get manatees in here too?
I've never seen any.
No, I've seen them by, in Welaka.
Yeah.
Over there at the boat ramp. I've seen them there in that area, right by the river, right in town.
Okay.
But I noticed a sign here.
Yeah, I've never seen them in here.
Over there we saw about 5 of them so far at different times.
We've seen them in the springs when you...
I heard they go there. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah.
Now we passed this tower on the way going there. Now we're passing and coming back, trying to get a shot for you. Well, here we are at the St. John's riverfront. The St. John's River Center. It used to be very informative, right? Interactive. You know, where you push the buttons and little things light up to see what you're talking about. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it anymore. They've changed it pretty bad. What do you think?
Well, they took out most of the exhibits, and like the two main ones they still have there, the things don't work.
The things don't work.
They had the microscope, you see the different things that live in the border, all those.
And it's all
samples
gone. And they have a man playing the piano. I don't know what that's about. They put on that coffee shop. That wasn't there. But now it's half of it. Empty chairs, a few things of art on display that the price is unbelievable. And I mean, it used to be a nice learning center. They had a lot of things to do with Welaka, the Bertrand Trail, right? The waterways and everything. And well, I'm going to have to, the ecosystem, I'm going to have to give this a thumbs down.